on the trail, and it's really nice and shady. That's the one nice thing about rail trails. Most of them have tree canopies, and there's always a cold breeze and protection from the sun. You do get the occasional break where you will ride a little bit into the sun, like here, for example. Then we're back into the shade. The trail, I will tell you, is going to be gravel, so it can be bumpy. Now, as I've mentioned before, this trail will follow the river, and that is the Lehigh down there. It's called the Delaware D&L Trail for Delaware and Lehigh, but that is the Lehigh River. And here's a look at the trail ahead. You can see what I was saying about the canopies. The trees form like almost an artificial roof to keep the sun from beating down on you, which makes things comfortable for riders. Here's a shot of one of the mountains that's along the trail. Somebody apparently taking advantage, parking the camper here. Probably one of those that has all the comforts of home. And he has a nice quiet sleep location, and maybe takes his bikes out and rides, who knows. But the trail is rather busy today, which is to be expected. It's a gorgeous day for riding. So let's keep on heading northbound and see what else is ahead on the trail. So here we will cross now into Carbon County. From Lehigh County into Carbon County. And someone has painted a very pretty mural on what I think used to be supports for a bridge, most likely for a trestle bridge, since this was an old rail line. But very pretty, whoever painted that. Activity on the river today, that's to be expected on a gorgeous day like today. I've seen people out there fishing, and I just saw a group on inner tubes just floating down the river, casually going with the current. This section of the river is pretty calm. Some sections can get a little, rough. You get some of the white waters and that. But the section I'm passing through now, perfect for something like that. So everybody's sort of enjoying the day, either on land or water. It's a great day to be out doing something outdoors. Whenever you see those poles, that's a good indication that rail lines once ran through here. And as I was coming down the trail, that's the pole I'm talking about right there. You could see remnants of the tracks. They ran right along here. Now the rails aren't down, but you could see this is what they used to anchor the rails into. So they're like supports. And it runs all through here. So right through here, at one time, trains were running. And now it's been turned into a recreational trail. It's really pretty through here. Nice and shady. That side is very, very hilly. There's cliffs up there to the left and the river off to the right. I've been following it the whole way. We're not far from the town of Lehigh. Some whitewater rafters. Looks like they're having fun. So nice and cool in here. A lot of shade. And there's another one of the poles running along here. So definitely the tracks. There you go. Got a shot of the pole. Yeah, they were running down through here. We have some more people on the Lehigh enjoying a leisure day. Kayaks, and I see a inflatable raft. And that also looks very peaceful and like a lot of fun. A nice way to spend your summer days. There's a group of them. Looks as good as any to take a hydration break. We're in Lehighton, Pennsylvania, the little town of Lehighton. And there we see it right there, Lehighton, Pennsylvania. It's 119.1 miles to New York. This might have been where the train station was located. I'm not sure. However, I will say this. I know for a fact that this used to be a large working yard. And up ahead, you see remnants of that. About where my finger's pointing, in that area right there. And how do I know that? It's because my father was raised in Lehighton. Lived here all of his life till he got married in 1960 to my mother. And when we would come down to visit Grandma, those train yards were very active. Lights would be on. And Pop told me that during the Second World War, as kids, they used to come down there to watch the train troops bringing German prisoners through. And my great-grandfather was a railroader, so most likely that's the yard he worked in. I think this is what they call trail magic. People leave these here for bikers for a little bit of, protein in that. It's also things you find along the Appalachian Trail. So, yeah, people do that out of the goodness of their heart. Hey guys, I appear to be lost. I'm not sure if I'm on the D&L Trail now or not. That rail line that I was telling you about where my grandfather used to work is now Norfolk Southern, and that's the trail. Well, I mean, that is the rail line right there. This is Norfolk Southern property. So I'm going to sign off and get my bearings, and I'll get back with you. It's getting a little later in the afternoon, and Jim Thorpe by bicycle is a little further than I anticipated. So I think what I'm going to have to do is next time come up and park at the trailhead in Lehighton and ride it up to Jim Thorpe. So we're going to just reverse direction and head back towards Slating here. Something I haven't seen the first time I'm seeing it. I don't know if these are homeless people camping out or if they're bike packers or a little bit of both. But up near, as you get closer to Lehighton, you kind of see a lot of these tent cities popping up, and even off in the woods. This guy has a little trailer here, and he's down there. He has a little tent set up in the woods. He's like that guy, The Adventures of the Loaded Pickle is his channel. He kind of has been traveling around the country with two trailers attached to a bike, and that's kind of been what he's been doing. But yeah, you see up here on the right what I'm talking about. So it's very close to the river, so people have access to water. And they could go down and bathe in it, I suppose. So yeah, it's something that it's the first time I'm seeing it. This is the first time I've been on the trail this year, but in the previous 2 years I've never seen it. So I'm not sure if this is just growing in popularity or what's the reason for the upswing in this activity. And again, there is some water fun out on the Lehigh. Bunch of kids out there just enjoying themselves. One kid is actually walking. That's how shallow the river is there. It can't be any more than 2.5 feet deep in that spot where they're at right now. So I said, we haven't had a lot of rain. You could probably get those trips up there in Lehighton. It's called Pocono whitewater rafting and biking. It's right there near the trail, and you could probably, and they have buses, so I imagine they come down and pick you up and drive you back to your cars. Or there was a bunch of bikes I saw in the lot there. So, but it does look like fun for something different. Again, they're out there walking in it, so it is pretty shallow there. All right, gonna continue on. All Things TCAT, signing off. There's some of a view of some of the mountains as I'm now heading towards Slatington. I'm heading southbound. No doubt some beautiful views up there on some of those ledges. I just saw some kind of bird. I thought it was an eagle. I don't think it is when I stopped and zoomed in. But I don't know what kind it is. It had like the body of a hawk, but didn't have like the head or face of a hawk. So maybe someone who sees the video might know. Let me know. Something back there bit me. I looked down, there was a bug of some kind. It definitely bit me. I was minding my own business and I felt like a little sting. It wasn't a bee or wasp or anything. It was just some kind of bug that just felt, like I said, like a little sting. And so I was getting out of there. I didn't want to stick around for any more of that. We're still on the trail. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. This is All Things TCAT signing off for now. One of the old style boundary markers separating Lehigh County from Carbon County. This side is Carbon County and that side is Lehigh County. As you can see there, welcome to Lehigh County. We step over to the map, we could see that we are here. And this D&L Trail goes up through Jim Thorpe. Then you go up and you take it all the way up toward Wilkes-Barre, which is up in the coal regions of Luzerne County. But it starts all the way down here in Bucks County, outside of Philly in Bristol. It comes up Bucks County, goes into part of Northampton County over by East, and I understand that's a pretty rough part of the trail there. Goes along the canal path. Then you get to Allentown, and then you come up and you get into Slatington. And then you can ride that all the way up to Wilkes-Barre. I was attempting to get to here today, but never made it. I will have to try that again some other time. But we are crossing back into Lehigh County. I'm on a different trail now, and I didn't quite feel like going home yet. This is the Slatington Heritage Trail. And I came around the corner, and these guys were there to greet me. And the last time I was here, they were here as well. This is definitely their turf. Check them out. I think they live in that house with the beige siding. But there's definitely a flock of them, that's for sure. They're so cute. Apparently, this is all that remains of what used to be a quarry. And it was started in 1848 by a gentleman named Nelson LeBarn. He named the tunnels after famous streets in New York City. Outfitted with tracks similar to a mine. And then slate would be hauled to push carts. And the tunnels stretched out under the streets of Slatington for some distance. Now then the quarry would close. And a man by the name of John Rudolph would construct a school slate factory here in 1898. Probably that's what remains of it. It was in operation until 1923 when fire ravaged the buildings, both buildings. And here we see what they probably looked like in their day. I'm assuming that's the hill that's up behind it in the picture. And they say that the caves that are here I guess, to explore were called bed bug caves, that is, in reference to the mattress factories. So that after the Slate school ceased, they were making umbrella handles, and they also, I guess, were making mattresses. So somehow it got the name bed bug caves. It's very, very steep incline. I've never been up here personally, and I don't want to go up too high. I have Gus down below, and someone could run off with Gus long before I could get to him. But clearly, I'll just go a little ways up here. And clearly you could see where this could be a quarry. Looks like there's some paths over here. Might be something good to come and explore on foot someday, which I might do on another video. Because the trailhead is not too far from here. But I've lost sight of Gus, so I don't want to stay up here too long. We'll do another video on this. We'll come back and visit this. So I'm going to need two hands to get back down, because there's Gus down below. So don't go away. I'll be back. I'm going to say this. That is steep. It isn't much, well, I won't say it isn't much trouble to get up it. It is. But coming down is where you run into problems because of the grade. And if you don't have a good pair of shoes on, it's very easy to slide on the loose dirt and come crashing down that embankment. You almost need like a rope to kind of help you rappel down the side. It's that much of an incline. Apparently the young kids have no trouble getting up there, but when you're pushing my age, going on 66, that's something I think you want to fool around with. But it does look interesting enough to pique my curiosity, maybe to come back on a day when I don't have Gus and just go up and explore. Try to get some more history behind the area. All right, we're safely back down. We're not far. We'll be the trailhead where I parked, and we'll be ending this video. So don't go away. I'm happy to say that we're safely back, and it was rather an enjoyable day. I think I started around 1 o'clock, somewhere around there today, and we got almost 4 hours of ride time in. So it is, I noticed the heat now once you get off the trail. But there'll be more bike adventures if this is the kind of thing you like. You're coming across my channel for the first time. I am a variety channel, so I don't strictly do bike adventures. This particular series I call Rolling with Gus, and that will be our bike adventures. So if that is something you like, and you like to see where I go in some parts of Pennsylvania, for now I'm just mostly riding in Pennsylvania, on the roads of Pennsylvania and the trails of Pennsylvania, then hit that subscribe button. All right, I'm calling it for a day. This is TCAT, all things TCAT, signing off from the D&L Rail Trail, Slatington, Pennsylvania. Have a good Friday, everybody, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.